Senor, I don't know no Farid. I was just lying.
I'm gonna slit your throat.
What's up everybody, Prone here, and today I'm going to be exploring a topic from one of my earlier episodes, and that is underrated horror sequels. I've got a nice mix of slept-on studio films as well as older deep dives, so stick around because I got 6 more recommendations for you. Final Destination 5. After the introduction of some pretty unlikable characters and some hokey drama, we get to a set piece that rivals the best in the series. The kills are gory, fun, and very imaginative. There's just something about the setups, the anticipation of the multiple ways in which death can play out that's just very exciting. This is the series' strong point, and this entry recognises that, and even turns it up a notch or two. Don Coscarelli's Phantasm III. The third entry into the cult favourite franchise feels more like the spiritual sequel in my opinion. Bringing back Michael Baldwin from the original helps solidify this theory. The badass, sleazy everyman Reggie is back, reluctantly stepping into kick-ass mode, killing those little midget thingies and sleazing onto women half his age. The film has a surrealist, dreamlike, nightmarish quality, and is full of great practical effects. It's quite possibly the most out there of the series, which is really saying something. The additional characters are a nice touch, and the blend of road movie / post-apocalyptic nightmare is a real winner. Leprechaun Returns. Usually I wouldn't go there on a franchise where I've probably only seen 2 or 3 films, but after seeing on Letterboxd that heaps of my homies rated it, I thought that I'd give it a crack. Turns out that it's also directed by Stephen Katanski, whose writing and directing on other films, The Void and Psycho Gorman, I really dug. Leprechaun Returns is not as good as those, but I'm still assuming it's probably the best film in the franchise. It doesn't mess about with pacing and gets going fairly quickly. The kills lean into the more campy, gory fun side of things, and they're mostly pretty creative. There's also some nice nods to some of our horror faves that they don't ram down your throat. My only issue is the cheap, almost non-existent cut and paste score. A release like this honestly deserves better, but nevertheless, great midnight schlock. 2019's Happy Death Day to You. I wrestled with putting this one on the list as it probably leans more into sci-fi and comedy than horror, but I feel there is still definitely enough horror for it to warrant a place on the list. Plus that death montage to Hard Times is some super creative horror fun. The filmmakers are to be commended for really swinging for the fences with the story and in particular the sci-fi element. In 2019, multiverses weren't quite played out yet, and the great character development from the first film pays dividends here with the stakes becoming even higher. The cast is also fun and likeable, especially Jessica Roth, who, let's face it, is the MVP of the whole series. Her freakouts are very relatable for someone like myself, and she has one here that's of epic proportions. 1993's Return of the Living Dead 3. It's directed by Brian Usner, and like his contemporary and frequent collaborator Stuart Gordon, he also has that 50s sci-fi Mad Doctor vibe going on. Usner doesn't settle for mediocrity like the underwhelming sequel does, and he brings his unique style of goopy body horror and sleaze to the party. The movie stars J. Trevor Edmond, who I know from Barker's Lord of Illusions, and a film I certainly didn't consider for the list, Pumpkinhead 2. It also stars the hot mum from the OC, who is 100% the best part of the movie. Her performance is equal parts sexy and disturbing. She treads the line between serious and camp as her character goes from being rebellious teenager to brain-eating self-harmer. As you probably know, I'm a big fan of films with small budgets that really go all out. Return of the Living Dead 3 is no exception. It looks rad, has cool ass practical effects, and one hell of a performance from Melinda Clarke. Also, who isn't a sucker for the whole reanimating a corpse for love trope? Even if it is selfish as fuck. Alien Resurrection, aka Alien 4. I feel like this is definitely the black sheep of the Alien family. Film experts have often said that Jean-Pierre was a strange choice as a director and called it mean-spirited or too art house. But if you've seen either The Lost City of Children or Delicatessen, then you'd be excited to see what he would bring to the table. And that's one of the things I dig about Resurrection, is that you can see that it's clearly a Jeannot film. It's beautifully shot and has that 90s style sci-fi action production design.
I thought you were dead. Yeah, I get that a lot.
It's basically a who's who of the mid-90s cast. You've got your boy Michael Wincott sleazing it up, Winona doing a soft butch lesbian thing, plenty of other xenomorph fodder that you'd recognise. It is the Dourif and Weaver show though, and they are absolutely on fire in this. Brad Dourif pretty much makes out with an alien, and Ripley straight up dunks. Kudos to the writers and directors for taking it there. In that sense, it's so very different to the ones that came before it, and at times almost feels like a graphic novel or even fan fiction. But that's why I dig it. Well, that and the fact that the main alien looks like the love child of Pumpkinhead and Skeletor. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.